Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 16th to the 28th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be fooled by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. That person is not me. Do not be scammed. Okay, with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Leo. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, 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 Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me, ooh, goodness, clearly. Okay. Give me just a moment to get this card. It has gone completely rogue. Okay. There you are. This one right here. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic, with one bonus card. Okay, and now let's look at your chakra energy for this time. Leo, February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, 4. Fantastic. So we have here creativity, the sacral chakra. Then we have flexibility, again, the sacral chakra coming forward. We have the inner child, the heart chakra. And there comes self-mastery, which is the solar plexus chakra. Now, there's a lot of breaking free here that's coming forward during this time. So is it going to be intense? Yes. Is it going to be emotional? Yeah, it really can be. But you're stepping into a very powerful world. Now, let's look at the energies that you need to be mindful of during this time. What are the energies that Leo needs to be mindful of? February 16th to 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to 28th, 2021, Leo. What is the energy that Leo needs to be mindful of? February 16th to 28th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay, there we go. Okay. And we have here the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be aware of simply water sign energy, but people who are emotionally very manipulative. And we'll get into this more as when we turn over the cards. And then we have the Lovers, Gemini energy, time frame May 21st to June 20th. You have the King of Cups, again, water sign energy. And the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, time frame April 20th to May 20th. It's very interesting that the Taurus time frame goes straight into the Gemini time frame. You have those here to be mindful of. So I would be mindful of April 20th to June 20th. Not that anything bad is going to happen, but just to sit there and know that a couple of emotional challenges might be coming your way during this time. So we have the left-hand side, which is the inner self, the middle, which is the heart, the emotional self, the right-hand side, the public arena, the public self, and of course, one bonus card. So we have the Ten of Water, which is a beautiful way to start this reading, the Ten of Cups, and they all live happily ever after, the Two of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and you have the King of Fire, which of course, Leo, is you. And this is you coming through as a king, so there's tremendous power here, tremendous focus, a connection with the sacred masculine. You have the Three of Fire, the Three of Wands, the Five of Cups. You have Call, which is Judgment, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And you have the Ten of Air, the Ten of Swords. So you have here, mentally and emotionally, you're reaching the end of a cycle. One is quite beautiful. The other is a painful transformation, because it's like the accumulation of all that you have learned and all that you are learning has transformed you forward, has brought you to a profoundly amazing place. But it's also made it so that you're not the same person that you were. And that can be something that can be very upsetting when we sit there and we realize, well, that's the past. And now I need to understand my future or embrace my future, move forward in the future that I now stand in, that is right for the person I am today, not the person I once was or the person I will be, but the person I am at this very moment. It leads you to another 10. This is passionately, you've completed a cycle. You're letting go of a lot of burdens, a lot of doubts, a lot of fears, a lot of anger. The Ten of Earth, so you have all 4 tens. And this is prosperity coming in because you have released so much, and this is within the public arena. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Earth. And you have the Queen of Water, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So even though here you're being told to be mindful of Taurus energy, but you're being told to be mindful of that personality traits in the negative. You also have a very positive earth sign energy coming forward. And the same thing with the Queen of Water. You're being told to be very mindful of it, but you also have a very positive Queen of Water coming forward. Queen of Cups. And then same thing with the King of Air. The King of Air represents air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and those are also energies that you're being told to be mindful of, but that are also going to be blessing you during this time. So there's this sense of certain people, as with anything, I mean, you're going to be like, duh, Dane, but just not getting involved in other people's nonsense and not being pulled into their drama is going to be so absolutely imperative for you. So let's just start off by talking about the energy that you need to be mindful of during this time. We have the Queen of Cups, we have the Lovers, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Hierophant. Now, wow. Okay, so Spirit really did just say very strongly, for some of you, this is going to be either a past relationship, all right, somebody kind of contacting you out of the blue that you had once been in a relationship with, and it was a very passionate relationship. It's also a very domineering relationship, or both of you, there was no give, okay? So here, it wasn't, or there was no give on the other person's part, okay? But it can go both ways, but for a lot, it's like there was just a harshness there to the relationship, and it was underlined. And yeah, Spirit is saying, make sure you don't think, oh, this was my fault. It's like, no, it wasn't. But there was an explosiveness that happened when you two came together. And so here, it's being very mindful of selfish energy during this time. Now, it can be that you kind of think about an ex, or something comes into your head and you're like, wow, why am I being drawn to that time in my life? You know, why is that person contacting me out of the blue? Be very mindful if they do contact you out of the blue, because they're going to want to use you for something. And this is something where you're going to have to sit there and say, okay, what do I want from life? Where do I want to be? And is it really in my best interest to go down that path? Because you're leaving so much behind with the repeat of the number 10, with every single 10, except for the 10 in the major arcana coming forward. So here it's like you've changed. And it's a powerful change, and you don't want to fall back into old patterns, into old habits, into old wound partners, okay, that can perpetuate a lot of hurt, a lot of disappointment, a lot of chaos within your life that you've worked so hard to get away from. And this can even be, you know, kind of the addictions kind of tapping you on the shoulder, saying, hey, look at me, you know, pay attention to me. And it's the pain coming forward. And it's the pain, it's kind of like, yeah, it's like giving birth. It's like the pain before you give birth, the pain before things change. It's kind of like also when you have like your tooth abscessed or something like that and you need a root canal. It's that pain before the relief, and then the relief is so sweet. So here, there is something very powerful coming forward, Leo. So do be mindful of that. You have the Queen of Cups. This is somebody who's emotionally very manipulative, astoundingly manipulative. That with the King of Cups, this is a person who can yell and scream very easily and then turn it around and say, why are you getting so upset? I don't understand. I don't understand why you're reacting this way. I don't understand why you aren't the person that I knew before. But they riled you up. They said all the right things. They pushed all the buttons, and they wanted to. They wanted to get a rise out of you. They wanted to put you off your game. Now, this could be in relationships. This could be, you know, at work. You could work with somebody who's very much like this. This could be, you know, friends that you have, people that you know. Be very mindful of this emotional manipulation. And these people who are going to step back and say, well, it wasn't my fault. Like, I didn't do this. Yeah, you didn't, but you did actually. You set everything up for it to all fall apart. And this is a person here who, with the King of Cups, whose bark is very loud, but they can't even rule themselves. So the King of Cups in the positive form is a person who rules himself, who knows himself, who says, I am the ruler of a kingdom of one, and I'm going to rule that kingdom well. And so here, you're going to find that you are stepping out of a lot of chaos with this person because they can't rule their lives. They don't know where they stand. They don't know what they want. And again, their bark is worse than their bite. Doesn't mean not to take them seriously, because you don't want to kind of test the person to see how far they'll go. But it's really stepping aside and saying, no, this isn't right, because there's some sort of, there could be a past life connection, there could be a this life connection, where you're drawn to this person. You just are. And it doesn't have to be sexually at all. You could just be drawn to this person. The Gemini energy is the sense of connecting mind to mind, connecting spirit to spirit. And you're going to be so intrigued, but the person is really looking at what's best for them, not what's best for anybody else. And that's going to be something you need to be mindful of during this time, because if you have somebody wrapping this all up in a very alluring package, it's kind of like that person that you start dating, or that sits there and compliments you, tells you you're so talented, you're so pretty, you're so this, you're so that, you're just amazing, and then slowly and steadily beats you down, takes you away from all your friends, takes you away from everything that you loved, and makes their hurt over you your whole entire world. And that's going to be something you need to be very mindful of. And again, it doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship, okay? But it can be. But this is just that type of person. This is just that type of person who'll sit there and be like, well, you can tell me, I'm the only person who will understand. And then use all the secrets you tell them or everything that you tell them and turn it around so that they can absolutely stab you in the back. Just be mindful of that type of energy coming forward, okay? The Hierophant, I want it my way right now. Stubbornness, no bend, no give. Just kind of like, that's it. So just be mindful of this, because there's a completion of a cycle, there's an awakening, there's a moving forward here, and there's a sense, and why I see this as something relationship-wise. Now, this could even be, a parent or whomever raised you. That energy coming forward, if it wasn't a person who raised you with your betterment in mind, but raised you with a lot of their pains, their hurts, their disappointments, the sins of their line put onto you, because they raised you in the pain that they knew, and they couldn't break that pain. So here, there's the sacral chakra coming forward, and its creativity and its flexibility. The creativity is to sit there and say, I'm embracing this creative sexual energy that is a part of me. Now, the sacral chakra is where a lot of negative energy from this life and past lives are held, but it's also where our sexual energy is held, and it's where creative energy is held. So when you're embracing creativity and flexibility, you're sitting there to say, I am moving forward in my truth. I am going after what I need. I am opening up the door to me, to my power, to my understanding, to my brilliance. And there's a sense of wisdom coming forward, but it has to be through a flexibility of mind, spirit, soul, and self. Not sitting there and saying there's only one way to do things. There's going to be a huge opening of saying, kind of like, I didn't realize I could move forward in such different ways. I didn't realize that I could open up this door, that I could embrace this truth. Now, you have the inner child with the heart chakra. This is saying, and just do a quick visualization of your arms being held open and the child that you were running into those arms. Now, when I first started doing this visualization, it was really hard for me. I didn't like the child that I was. I didn't like my past. And I thought, oh no. I can't be that again. And so when we see the inner child, we see the person that we were that we didn't like. We can see the person that we were that we absolutely adored. We could see the pain that you're going to have to live through, right? When you see yourself as a child and you sit there and think, oh my gosh, only a few more years and then you're going to, lose people in your life that were so terribly valuable for you. You're going to have opportunities closed in your face. You're going to think so negatively about yourself. And it can be heartbreaking. It can be absolutely heartbreaking to sit there and look at the child that you were and know the steps that you are going to take to make you the adult that you are now. So if you can just hug that child, tell that child you're okay. That yes, the road gets hard, and yes, it gets long, but there is a brilliance, there is a power, there is a beauty to you that you see. And it doesn't matter if anybody else sees it. Tell that child, I will always love you. I will always care for you. And I will always be there for you. And I will never let you down. And it can take such a burden off the heart. And it brings you to self-mastery. It brings you to this place of, this is me. Listen to your solar plexus. Yes, listen to your solar plexus, your gut chakra. Listen to your gut feel. Listen to your intuitive self. Open up that door. Be powerful as you move forward. All right? And embrace that power. Embrace that truth. Embrace that tenacity. Because you have here in your inner self, and they all live happily ever after. You have the 10 of water. You have the 10 of cups. It's beauty, it's prosperity, it's happiness, it's joy. It's your happiness. So when we talk about the happily ever after, I always think of Cinderella, It's kind of like, oh my gosh, and everything's perfect. But you never know if it actually is perfect. So the world looks at things and plays off of the Cinderella story, plays off of our insecurities and says, this is what you should want. This is what makes everybody else happy. This is why you're seeing all the smiling faces about. Want this. What if you don't? What if you look at the world and say, I'm not buying what you're selling anymore. I'm not looking for the next best thing. I'm looking for the eternal, sustainable power of me, bounty of me, brilliance of me. I'm opening up that door. I'm entering that prosperity, that wealth, that abundance. When we live happily ever after, we always see it in that very specific Disney fairy tale sort of way. But it doesn't have to be that. It is your happiness. It is your joy coming first within your life. It is saying, when I think of this, when I do this, it makes me smile. Everybody else, they don't have to get it. But if it adds to your existence, embrace it in a positive, loving, productive way. If it adds to your existence, if it makes you happy, then do so. It's kind of like if it makes you happy to have a little cottage and to farm, then do it. If it makes you happy to live in the city and, be in the hustle and bustle, then do it. With the 10 of Cups, it is following your joy. It is following your bliss. It is saying, okay, my 9 to 5 might be a way to pay the bills, but I get to have my joy coming forward. I get to have my beauty, my understanding, my prosperity, and my wealth. And the 10 of Cups is embracing that. It's saying, I'm not meant for a poverty existence. I am meant for something so much greater. And it moves you to the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is the fact that you have choices coming forward. Because when we start to look at, and it's really dissecting what makes us happy, really dissecting where we want to be, how we want to be, what is moving us forward. Because when we have the 2 of Swords, it's looking at things and saying, well, I always thought you could do this way or you could do this way. I always think of my mom when she was growing up and she was told she could be a teacher or she could be a nurse. And she was like, I can't be a nurse. My grandma was a nurse. She's like, I just can't do that. So she went to become a teacher and she hated it. She just couldn't do it. They were like, just pass the kid along. If they can't do it, they can only be left back once, just keep going. And she's like, no. And then a whole new world opened up for her because she went into business. And my family, my grandparents definitely never even thought of a woman going into business. It was just like absurd. So here, not absurd, but yeah, a little bit. So here, there's like this power moving you forward. There's this sense of sitting there and saying, I'm following my tenacity. I'm following my truth. I'm moving forward. And yes, one door might close and I might sit there, be absolutely devastated and say, well, what the heck now? But there's a door that will open if I am brave enough to take it. But just don't sit there, because so often we get too much in our own heads and we say, it's this road or it's that road. That's it. It's like, no, open it up, see new things, embrace your truths, because once you start to see what it is that you want, and that starts to bubble to the surface, you embrace it within your mind. Because remember, the swords, they're the only weapon in the whole entire tarot. All right. So we have the wands, right? The cups and the pentacles. Yes, those can be used as weapons. You can see a pentacle, you could say, could be a throwing disc. You could say a cup could hold poison, and a staff can be a weapon. But they can also be walking sticks and a cup to drink from, and, seeds to plant or plates to use. So here, with the sword, and I know there isn't the sword in the picture, but with the sword, it is simply a weapon. So when you're stepping back and you're looking at your mind, you're looking at your truth, you're looking at your understanding, and you're saying, this is me, that becomes your weapon, your choice, your power. This is me. And you start to see the road opening up. You start to see pathways you didn't think could be yours coming forward. And it brings you to the Queen of Pentacles. Prosperity, success, bounty, nurturing, abundance, brilliance, looking at things and saying, there is more here than I realize. There is more here than you know. And there's also a richness to you during this time here, Leo. There's a sense of opening up the doors of understanding. There's a sense of looking at the wealth that you want. And it's looking at things, and instead of seeing them in a same way, because you have so much of a resurrection coming. you have the repeat, again, of the number 10 4 times. You have every single 10, but in the major arcana. You are going to find yourself rising out of the darkness. So there's a wealth to you as you do so. There's a power to you as you see things more openly, more honestly for yourself, as you look at where you want to be, as you look at how you want to be, and you embrace yourself as a king. The King of Wands is you. And here you hold your heart in your hand. You hold your passion, your fire, your determination, because that's what the wands are all about. We look at fire sign energy and we say, oh, it's fiery, right? It's passionate, it's, hot-tempered, it's this, it's that. Yeah, but fire sign energy is the passion of creation. So it isn't simply the passion of the next best thing. It is the passion of looking at your heart, looking at your soul, looking at yourself and saying, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I need to focus on. And again, I am a firm believer in responsibilities. And responsibilities keep us focused and they keep us going. They can also become astoundingly overwhelming. But the King of Fire, the King of Wands, is looking at the passion and saying, how can I correlate that into my responsibilities, into my truth? How can I have moments of bliss within my life? Instead of being the person that says, I do what I have to do and I don't enjoy any of it and that's just what needs to be done. How can I have beauty come forward, passion come forward, power become a part of me? And it's opening up that door of understanding. It's opening up that truth of self and saying, this is my heart. This is what I want. This is what I've worked so hard for. And it's starting to move forward in a way when you connect with your heart, because that's the thing that we forget about fire sign energy. You guys are really sensitive. And we sit there and we say, oh, fire sign energy, tough, warriors, stubborn, likes to win, everything like that. Yeah, well, who doesn't like to win and who isn't stubborn? But there's a sensitivity to the opening up of the heart. And once we realize this, we look at our passion, we look at our world and say, how is it that I want to move forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? What is it that I'm moving towards? How do I open up this world? And what is this world to me? And that's what you're saying to your heart. And your heart is looking at things, quite honestly, with the 5 of Cups. It's saying, change your mind and change your life. Instead of looking at all the failures, all the disappointments, all the angers, all the upsets, all the upheavals, look at the blessings, look at the beauty, look at the tiniest sliver. Because I do know sometimes life, it just seems to be tinged with gray. Have you ever looked back into your memory and just pick some moments out, some good ones and some bad ones? And the bad ones, they always seem to have this gray film around them. And the good ones, even if they happen in the dead of winter, in a dark place, they have light to them. They have beauty to them. Where the ones that could be taken, those memories could be in the lightest, brightest place, they still have that gray. We tend to be very drawn towards the gray, towards the blah, towards the, towards what lowers our energy vibration. Why are we drawn to it? First of all, it's easier. It's easy to be said. It's easy to remember all the negative words. What did they say? You need, for every one insult, you need like 10 compliments or more. And so it's very easy for us to remember the insults, to remember the indignities of things, to remember the anger and the upset and the upheaval. But to sit there and say, okay, I see you. I know you. I lived you. Why do I want to continue to live in that world? That hurt, that pain, that disappointment, that anger, that upset, that upheaval. The 5 of Water, the 5 of Cups, is saying change your mind and change your life. It's time to look at the healing, beautiful love that can move you forward, that can utilize you, that can open up your world, that can sit there and say, this is me. The 2 of Cups, that's unity, that's healing, that's grace coming forward, and it's moving towards grace. And as you do so, you start to see this resurrection of self. You start to see yourself answering a call, answering a passion that you have, finding yourself moving forward. Tenacity, passion, power, brilliance, truth. This is what you're embracing. And you're going to see yourself rise in one way or another. Rise towards your truth, rise towards your purpose, rise to where it is that you want to be. There's a call that you are answering. There is also a sense of feeling like you're coming out of darkness. And what's so interesting is with the Ten of Swords, this is at the root of your heart. The Ten of Swords is angers and upsets and upheavals and disappointments and pains that have stabbed into you and laid you prostrate on the ground, sitting there and thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to. I don't have any more fight in me. We all get there. There's that sadness that comes around. I mean, especially if you're like me and living in a very cold place and it's winter and you're just like, oh my gosh, more snow, more this, more that. And it's like, okay. And the gray can start to seep in with the Ten of Air. It's looking at the hurts, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals that you have been through. It's over a 10-year process. I've really come to see the Ten of Air, not just as, this murdering of a person, right? It's not that. It's this sitting there, and it's the darkness before the dawn. It's taking you, and it's saying, look at what you've been through. Look at every lesson that you've learned. It doesn't matter how big the knife was, but look at every lesson that you learned, every stab that you had, every hurt that you went through. And look at how you're rising. And look at what you're rising to. And you might say, what the heck am I rising to? Why am I answering this call? There's so much, and I'm not the person that I was. I had my dreams, and then life got in the way. I had my dreams, and then I went off track for 5 seconds, and everything imploded on me. Why? Sometimes we don't know why. And I know that's not what you want to hear. But sometimes, years down the road, we can see why. And the why becomes very clear. Our lives move forward. And yes, we can screw them up, most definitely. But they move forward in a divine plan. And that divine plan also takes into account that you can go off-road. That you can sit there and ad-lib, and it's not good, Instead of being brilliant at it, it kind of messed up a little bit. That's fine. Don't hold that anger in, because then you'll never rise. There will never be a new dawn. There will always be that time that you are waiting for things to change. But the pain is too big, the hurt is too big, the chaos is too big. It just keeps on weighing you down. There's a call that you are answering. See how you have evolved. See how you have moved forward. You might sit there and say, but it's not. But look at everything that you've gone through. You might sit there and say, yeah, but I'm still in that addiction. But my temper still gets the best of me. But I'm still making those bad choices. But I don't have that confidence in myself. But you're seeing it. And the first step to changing it is seeing it. And so you named it. And I know it sounds odd to say, but now it's time to talk. It's time to talk to the part of you that held on to the pain part, the wounded part, the hurtful, negative part. And say, why are you here? What are you protecting me from? What are you trying to safeguard me from? The bullies of my past or my present? What walls have I put up, to protect me that aren't protecting me anymore? They're hindering me. That's one of the things why connecting with our inner child is so important, because to rise, we also have to become aware of the defense mechanisms that we put into play when we're very small. And we do it when we're very small. And then we can just perpetuate that. It's like with my nephew. My nephew has a bit of a temper on him. He gets very passionate, very all-encompassing. He's not even 2 yet. And I think, my goodness, we have to nip that in the bud, because you can't do this and be a grown-up. You just can't. And so here, his defense mechanism is to get angry, is to throw a fit. And you could say, okay, well, that's part of, of growing up. It is. But there's also a spitefulness to it that you need to curtail. And so if you can start to see that you form this when you're very, very small, and what do they say? Your personality is formed, your way of handling things is formed by the time you're 4. That's a really small window. And so here, you're looking at it, and you're looking at the pains, the hurts, the disappointments that you've been through. You're looking at the coping mechanisms that you've created. You're having that conversation with the pain self, okay? The wounded self, the hurtful self, okay? And the person that you want to be. And you're going to see yourself releasing a lot of the disappointments, a lot of the anger, a lot of the guilt that you've been carrying, and say, this is me. This is where I need to be. This is how I need to move forward. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, okay, most definitely. But it happens slowly, and it happens steadily, and it happens powerfully, and it happens personally, there we go, and purposefully. And you'll start to see that things just don't fit anymore. Truths that you held to, you said, this was my truth. It isn't your truth anymore. And so you're moving forward. So you're going after what you need, what you want, what you desire. You're letting go of the burdens that you put on you. And you're saying, if this doesn't build me up, and if this isn't something that I absolutely have to do, why am I still doing it? And there's a release. And this is in the public arena. There's a release. People might say to you, Leo, why are you acting so differently? Leo, why did you change the way that you're looking at things? Why are you, going about things so differently? You might even find that people get really annoyed at you. It's like, Leo, you're not doing what you usually do. Yeah, you're not carrying everybody. That's okay. You're here to carry you. You're here to move forward for you. And you're releasing so much more. There's such a release. There's such a purge. And it brings you to a place of prosperity. It brings you to a place of wealth that lasts for generations. Now, again, this isn't, mega millions money. This is stability. This is security. This is prosperity. This is being safe. And so often we forget to not chase, but to focus on being safe, being secure. Our world is about, especially our Western world, the world is about one-upping everybody else in whatever way that one-upping is done. In whatever anybody, values, that's what we want to one-up with. And so here, it's looking at things and saying, no, I step back. I step into my prosperity. I step into my bounty. Just like you're stepping into your happiness, all right? And your happiness might not be a McMansion and a fancy car. You might think, oh, that's great. But then if you think about it, the mortgage and the payments and the this and the that, it's like, wow, that's a lot. Something smaller, something steadier, something more in line with you, that's happiness. And it brings you to wealth and prosperity. It brings you to what you value as much as money coming forward. It brings you to prosperity within your world coming forward and saying, this is what I want from life. This is what I value. This is how I'm moving forward. This is me. And the 10 of Pentacles is seeing divinity guide that wealth, is seeing this world open up, seeing these doors open. And it brings you to the 3 of Pentacles. It brings you to seeing your hard work really paying off, but also seeing the way that you have worked, coloring the life that you have, coloring what it is that you value and what it is that you want and how it is that you're moving forward. And people are going to try and take that away from you. They're going to try and sit there and say, look what I did for you. Look what I handed you. Don't let them take away what you have done yourself. A lot of times, and yes, especially if that person has been carrying, you or others for so long and feeling completely ignored, they'll sit there and say, well, look what I did. Like, I gave you that idea, or I helped you create that. That's not what Spirit is talking about here. They're not talking about people who genuinely love you and are tired of being overlooked. They're talking about here the people who will take away your achievements and make them their own, who will sit there and say, I created this success, and so I get to have the applause for everything that you've become. It's like, no, that's not right. And it's also not right for people to sit there and your ideas, your kind of brainstorming things, and to steal them. Be mindful of that during this time. Be mindful of people kind of swooping in and sitting there and saying, oh, well, look what I did. Because here you're moving towards prosperity, and people can see that. Yours is kind of like a good horse to bet on, right? And so here, when you're rising and you're embracing, there's a need to claim your prosperity, to sit there and know within your heart, within your soul, within yourself, I did this. Doesn't matter if anybody else sees it. Within your heart, within yourself, I did this, and it opens up my world. I did this, and it's something that I am proud of. Instead of sitting there and saying, oh no, I really didn't. This is a praise for somebody else. No, this is what you did. And then with the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups, it's embracing your heart. It's looking at what you love. It's looking at what you desire and sitting there and saying, I hold this sacred. I rule only my life. I embrace my soul. I have the loving, nurturing nature. Within the public arena, now, it can be somebody coming in who helps you to achieve goals, okay? Who helps you to sit there and focus and say, look at the bigger picture, release the burdens, look at the bigger picture of what you want. How do you move this forward? How do you embrace this blessing? How do you move this forward to where you need to be, to what you love? So for some of you, there's going to be a mentor-like figure coming in. Now, this person doesn't have to know they're being a mentor-like figure for you. Okay, this could be something that you read, something that inspires you, something that you're watching and you're like, oh, wow, that just blew everything open. Take that loving, healing energy and move forward with it. Because you're slaying dragons. You're cutting down doubt and fear and negativity. You're becoming a warrior king. And as you do this, you know your passion, you know what you desire. There's knowledge, there's truth, there's insights coming. And it's because of the hard road that you have walked. It's because you have fallen. It's because you have failed that you now know what it is that you stand for. And your mind will change again. You might sit there and say, oh, but what if I add this? Or what if I do this? Or what if I walk down that road now? How does that? You're going to see yourself entering into a place that you hadn't expected, but that is right for you. And it's going to be not what you had originally imagined. All right? So keep your mind open to endless possibilities. Because you've been waiting for this. You've been waiting for a release. You've been waiting for a way forward. You've been waiting to see sparks of happiness come into your life. And they're not going to come. Spirit wants me to say, they're not going to come if you're sitting on your couch eating chips, just completely in despair. They're not. Or, it's just a struggle to get out of bed and to sit there and to kind of keep yourself moving. You might not have the big moments coming in then. Okay? But if you're getting yourself out of bed, if you're focusing, if you're moving yourself forward, that's moving you towards success. And it might come in little kind of like glitter, little bits of sparkle in your life, just little bits. But if you're going to sit back and say, okay, I don't have to do anything, Dane said, no. No, it's a longer, harder road than what we anticipate. And Spirit says we should actively be moving towards what we love, what we desire, what we need, what fulfills us within our lives. And so often we're taken off track. We are kind of spun around and blindfolded and left somewhere and said, okay, now find your way back. No, we need to start listening and let go of the confusion. Let go of the anger. Let go of the doubt. Let go of the fear. And say, but where do I stand? And the first place to do that, and the best place to do that, is to hold yourself open to the child that you once were and to see the healing coming forward. Also, if you're present within your breath, that is really beautiful. If you just start breathing through your nose, close your mouth. You can rest your hands on the table, palms down, or on your lap, or, just be conscious of them if you're driving or, doing something. And just start breathing through your nose. Not through your mouth, through your nose. I find it to be astoundingly meditative, astoundingly calming, centering, and just start to make that part of your daily habit, to breathe through your nose. I'm going to link, things on vitamin D and gut health and breathing and all these different links and Karezza in the description box below so that you can discover, you can look, you can see, what registers or resonates for you. So let's see here. Let's go deeper. Leo, February 16th to 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to 28th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. And 2 bonus cards. Awesome. Okay. So we have Judgment again. Now you have it in the inner self. You have the Tower. Yes, that is showing the 10s that are coming up, the change that is coming forward. The Hermit, Virgo energy, time frame August 23rd to September 22nd. You have the High Priestess. You have the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You have the 5 of Wands, chaos for the sake of chaos. 7 of Swords, Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords over the Queen of Water. So you're really embracing your heart's and your mind's truth. You have then the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. That's so interesting. You have success combated with determination, but also with tiredness. It's like, how much harder can I work? How much longer can I go? Why does it take so long? That's what I'm seeing here. And so here with Judgment, it's a resurrection of your inner self towards your happiness, towards seeing more roads opening up than just the 2 you had seen before. It's like you thought A or B, and you thought that's the way it has to be. It's kind of like, let's say you want to have a family, right? But you haven't met somebody. And you sit there and you're like, oh, well, I can only have, a family, children, if I have them this way. But then you start to open up your mind and you could be like, well, I could foster, oh, I could adopt, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. And when you start to open up your mind like this, you could foster with the idea of adopting, because I believe that that is free, at least it is in the states that I've lived in. And so here, there is this power opening up to you. And there's this sense of taking kind of like the bull by the horns and saying, this is what I want for my life. And so you're going to start to see as you rise, and you step into your happiness, you step into your truth, and you name truthful things about you. Like, this is what I need. This is what I want, to be happy, to be prosperous, to be bountiful. You start to see yourself rising towards that because you've named what your soul needs. You've named what your soul desires. The Judgment here, it says forgiveness. Yes, it's the forgiveness of maybe not getting there sooner. It's the forgiveness of stumbling. It's the forgiveness of doubting. It's the forgiveness for living. And it's the beauty of finding. And it leads you to the Tower. It leads you to divinity, taking you, foundation. Your foundation has been rocked. You've been taken so far out of your comfort zone. Divinity has thrown you out of your comfort zone. And now you're sitting there looking at the way prospers forward, looking at it and saying, well, I always wanted to be prosperous. I always wanted to be bountiful and to have this success. Why? Why is this so hard? Why is everything coming in my way? Because when you find your road, things become easier. But when you're not walking your road, you're met with challenges after challenges after challenges until you listen. The Tower is saying that you need to start to look at what truly guides you, what truly inspires you, what truly moves you forward. The Tower is changing everything. You've had everything change. It could be for 16 years or better. You've been living through one chaos after another, after another, after another. And you're just kind of like, when does it stop? You might sit there and think, I had 20 really good years, but then by the time I hit or 30 really good years or whatever, but when I hit this age, it's been one thing after another, after another, after another, and it isn't stopping. Why? Now, there can be 2 reasons. One can be that divinity is bringing you on a path where the chaos is because there are great things planned. Okay, the chaos is because when you step out of that chaos, you have been forged in such a way that you are extraordinary and you're not meant for anything ordinary. It can also be that as you're being pushed in a different direction, you're going to start to see yourself opening to a world that you thought, oh, I never would have been here otherwise. And so the Tower comes, the change comes to strengthen you and to also move you to a place that you never even would have thought of being. And it moves you to the Hermit. It moves you to looking inward. And I love how all your inner self here is our major arcana. It's like you're looking at things and it's one big thing after another after another. And the hermit has you finding the wisdom, has you turning inward and saying, what is sacred? What is right for me? How is it that I move forward? And it's over you as a king, as a ruler, as somebody of immense power. You turn inward. The hermit turns inward and opens up your eyes, opens up your soul to the light that guides you forward, to the passion that is a part of you. And it brings you to the high priestess. It brings you to, it says here, empowerment. And it's as you're moving forward, it's as you're changing your mind and you're changing your whole entire life, you're changing your outlook on things. You're going to see yourself opening. You're going to see yourself seeing beyond the masks of people, seeing beyond the lies, the doubts, the fears, the negativity, and saying, this is where I stand, and this is what I stand for. This is who I am. And the lies of the world, they start falling away. The lies that have become like truths, that people hold a sacredness to their hearts and say, but I can't be happy if I don't. Oh, yes, you can. It's opening up your heart. It's opening up your soul. It's opening up your power. It's opening up yourself to something extraordinary. And the high priestess and the hermit, I think they go together, in my personal opinion, they go together with a bit more harmony than the high priestess and the magician. I think spiritually, these are tremendous together. Because it's saying, I don't need the rest of the world to look at me. I don't need the rest of the world to understand me. I claim my truth silently and powerfully, brilliantly and justly. And it opens up my world to me. And it brings you to being a student of your prosperity. As you are rising, as you are answering your call, you're looking at the seeds that you want to plant within your life, the passion that you have, the determination that you have, the way that you want to move forward. And it brings you to addressing the chaos, the battles, the doubts, the fears, the negativities, the hurts, the disappointments. You look at the battles and you're like, I see you. You look at the inner battles. You could be fighting inner demons that people don't even know about. Again, addictions. It can also be, not thinking that you're good enough. No self-confidence. That's a huge one to have to overcome. I remember looking at myself and thinking everybody in the world was better, was smarter, was more talented than I would ever be. And it took my whole entire life to stop that and to know my worth. And that is a huge battle. And yet we don't think of it. We look at addictions and we say, okay, we can be addicted to drugs and alcohol and everything like that, right? But we never think that we could be addicted to thinking that we're nothing, to not seeing our own worth, not seeing our own blessings, to saying, okay, well, if I'm not taking care of everybody, if I'm not, helping out like I should, nobody will want to be around me. We could also be addicted to chaos. The battles, once we're in battles, the battles keep coming and coming. It could be just simply stepping back and saying, no, I'm done. I'm not fighting this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm embracing my truth. I'm sitting in my meditative self. I'm looking at all the pain that I have been through, and I'm letting myself rise. Because when you're chock full of swords, you can't keep fighting. There has to be a time where you let yourself fall and you let yourself heal. The Seven of Swords, it's betrayal, yes. But it's you gathering up your information, you leaving some things behind, you looking at everything that you've been carrying and all the prosperity that you want and saying, it's my time. It is my time to look at me, to embrace what I desire, to know that I am worth it. It's my time. And these betrayals, they could be what you're leaving behind, the way that you're defining yourself. It's like, no more. I get to define myself as a winner, as a succeeder, as a champion, not as somebody who keeps on getting betrayed, hurt, and disappointed. I am opening up my life. I am embracing my truth. I am moving to my heart self. And that is unstoppable. And it brings you to the Ace of Wands. It brings you to God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift just for you. Here it says new adventures. It's new passion, new discovery, new determination. It's like, this is my fire. This is my truth. This is how I'm moving forward. And there is nothing and there is no one who will stop me. And that door opens and you step through. And you start to see what you have worked for. And the Queen of Swords is power. And it says here, power. The Queen of Swords is, I've fought for this. I've worked for this. I've practiced and bled for this. I have given it my all. And it embraces me. The Queen of Swords steps into this power, steps into this truth, steps into this passion, and cuts away doubts and fears. And says, this is who I am. And it moves you to a place of celebration, but it also moves you to battling nightmares with the King of Swords. It's like, as you step into this, as you claim your throne, as you know your power, you're like, this is me, the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine, coming together. And so there's a place of celebration, but there's also a place of doubt and fear and chaos and everybody else telling you what you should do. And it's like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I succeed. I get to start praising my prosperity, my success, my determination to win these battles comes forward. And it redefines me. I'm not what everybody says. I am simply myself. So let's see what our spirit animals have to say. Leo. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Leo. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So we have here the crow spirit. It says co-create with spirit. It is time to create something magnificent. And it's also time to know that it's in bigger hands than you could ever have imagined. Koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. Spirit does have a plan. Trust. Have that faith. There's something bigger happening than what you're seeing right now. And you're going to be amazed. Okay? You really are. The turkey spirit says, give with gratitude and grace. Give with gratitude and grace to yourself, to your world, to what you desire. Let the joy come in. Let the beauty come in. It leads you to the stag spirit. Take the leap. Take the leap of faith. Take the leap of power. Take the leap of determination. That changes your world, that rocks your world, that moves you forward in an astounding way. Take that leap, and you will be so surprised. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the coyote spirit. Trust in the divine detours. Sometimes those divine detours, as aggravating, as frustrating, as overwhelming as they were, and as they are, lead you to the most astounding places. It brings you to your subconscious person message, which is the frail, which is temperance. Sagittarius energy, yes. Time frame, November 22nd to December 21st. But this is also the connecting with the higher spiritual power, knowledge, understanding, brilliance, truth, wisdom. It's finding the balance within, and it's embracing the balance externally. And sitting there and saying, this is my truth. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I desire. It brings you to your subconscious chakra message, which is forgiveness, the heart chakra. Now, forgiveness is a powerful one. It's forgiving others, yes, But forgiving others can also feel rather powerful, right? I forgive you. I have that power to say you don't have a say in my life anymore. It also makes us feel like really good people, right? Oh, I forgive that person. Even if you're still working to forgive them, if you say, I forgive you enough, you're like, okay, one day I'll believe it. What about forgiving yourself for the hurts, the pains, the disappointments that you've walked through? What about claiming your power back and saying, I forgive having to walk through those nightmares, through those doubts, through that darkness. And I am stronger because of it. I release through tears, through, screaming into a pillow. I release because now I found myself. And I forgive how long it's taken. And I embrace how powerful I am. It moves you to your subconscious tarot message. Which is the Ace of Air, a gift you absolutely take from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, the Ace of Swords. You spread your wings, you fly, you cut through the doubts, the fears, the negativity, but you also stand in control of your being and your breath. And that's a powerful place to be. You realize the power of your body, the power of you. Practice breathing through your nose. Practice filling your lungs. Because the power of your voice is astounding. And the Ace of Swords is you taking this gift and being absolutely charged and invigorated by it. There's a knowledge that comes in that changes so much. It brings you to your subconscious, to go deeper into your subconscious tarot message, which is the Three of Swords. Affairs of the heart, heartbreaks, pains, disappointments, hurts, affairs, being cheated on, sitting there and thinking you could trust a person and everything falling apart. The Three of Swords. You have a gift of a sword coming in. And it banishes these three swords of hurt, pain, and betrayal. Name them. Name them and set them free. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of your positive energy as you come out of the time of chaos into a time of awareness, power, and abundance. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.